Hello, welcome back. This video will explain how to loan and return toys. So Michelle has just left with her stash of toys, so I need to clear the screen. So the first thing to do is to reset the screen. So reset, and now I've got a blank screen. So Michelle comes back in and she's going to return some toys, or I don't really know who she is, so I just want to do a sneaky and load her without even knowing any of her details. So if I type F, I can see that she's got F34 in her hot little hand, so I go F34 and I click on the F34 toy, and I can see that the dressing threading puzzle that she's got in her hands is on loan to her. So to load her onto the screen, I can click on the 203 button and I can greet her with saying, "Oh, hello Michelle, I remember your name." So we've got the Michelle loaded on the left hand side and the dressing threading puzzle loaded on the right hand side. So she's going to return all her toys, so we can go return all. So underneath the loans returns page, underneath the loans table, you can click on the return all button, or if she wants to take them out again, the renew all button. She's also got a couple of reservations. So I click on the return all button and they should all disappear. Now I could type the number in the toy number box and it will return them individually. So if I go F34 and press enter, it will return the toy, and you'll see above the loans table the status bar, which tells you what's happened. So F34 has been successfully returned. You'll also notice that there's a little green button on the left hand side, which means that your screen is slightly small and it won't fit the extra columns in that table. So if I click on that green button, it will show you the columns that are hidden. To show all of the columns, or to make the screen show more, you can zoom in or zoom out. So to zoom in, you hold down the Control minus button, and to zoom out, the Control plus button. So zooming in, Control plus, zooming out, Control minus. So if you go Control minus, you can see that the loans table has got all of its columns and there's no green button. Okay, so to load a toy without actually doing anything, so she's got C58 on loan and C18 on loan. So if I click on that row, so the C18 row, it will load C18 on the right hand side. If I click on the C58 row, I can see C58. I'll just make this a bit bigger. Hang on, Control. Okay. So to load a toy without actually doing anything, you can just C04, you search for it and load it. Okay, so it's in the library because the loan button's there, so I could loan that toy, but I won't for the moment. Okay, so she's finished with her toys, so we'll return them all. So we hit the return all button and it'll come up with a message detailing what has been done, and it also shows the status bar, which has got a little bit more detail, and if you want to get rid of that pop up, you can just close that button. Okay, so now she's going to loan some more toys, and if I get out my scanner and scan the barcode on the toy label, what it basically does is it types C04 and presses enter. It's like an automatic person typing the numbers and pressing enter. So I go C04 and I press enter, C07, enter. Comes up with a message, and C12, enter, and missing toy part, and say C15 and enter. Okay, so she's reached a limit. She's borrowed 4 toys of a limit of 4, and she wants to borrow another toy, so you think, oh, okay. So in order to do that, you need to press the override button, and this override button isn't available in volunteer login. So I'll just press the override button, and by pressing the override button, the red override button, it turns to green, which means you can override the maximum number of toys that they're allowed to loan. So if I look for a toy that's in the library, C2, okay, so I can loan that toy now that the override is on. And now she's got 5 out of 4 toys on loan. Okay, so another thing you can do is, as well as returning all the toys, you can also renew all the toys. So if I go renew all, it will change the due date of all those toys that she's got on loan to the 4th of the 9th, 2021. And okay, so another useful thing is if she's taken out, say, 2 on Monday and 3 on Wednesday, and you want them to be due on the same date, you can manually change the due date by hovering over the due date. So see, when you hover over the due date, it turns into a hand, which means it links to something else. And it also turns light green. So click on the due button and you can change the due date there. So let's say you want the 11th, you can change it. And you can see that the due date has been changed. Okay, so again, if you want to click on the toys to see the details, you just left click on the row. Left click on the row and it changes what's on the right hand side over here. Okay, that's all for now. Our next video will be missing parts. Thanks for listening.